That part always makes me cry so much. I literally like sob. It's amazing. Hello, 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 my name is Z and I go by they, them pronouns. Today I'm going to be telling you why you should read Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. Now, I know this book is so hyped up and you're probably like drowning in the hype, but it deserves the hype and I'm going to tell you why. And also, if you find that you don't like my reasons for liking it, then that'll just tell you that you shouldn't read the book. But here's me trying to convince you that you should. Even though this book has so much hype, I'm still going to be telling you why you should read it because this is my favorite book of all time. It has quickly peaked there. I've reread this twice. I've reread this once, but I want to reread it more. And I'm of the ideal that like I could read this book for the rest of my life and I'd be happy. Like, this is it for me. So that's why I want to spread the love more. And even though it's very hyped, I want to give you reasons other than just the hype of why you should read it. I've made other videos with this same like format because I don't really like doing reviews. And you can find that playlist in the cards. I think it's over on this side. If it's not, I'm going to pinch myself. Anyways, I'm going to split this up into a couple of parts. And I'm going to name them now, and I'll I'll put timestamps in the description and in a pinned comment. So if you want to just switch, if you want to just skip to another section, it's fine. The first category is what the book's about, then the romance/plot, because it's a romance novel, and then the characters, the sex scenes, the pacing, the writing, the focus on grief, and the way this book makes a person feel. Basically makes me feel, and that's where I'm gonna fangirl about it, but I'm not gonna give any spoilers. This is a spoiler free video as of right now of filming this. Might change when I'm done all the lists, but I feel like this video is gonna be pretty long, so I don't want to make it too long. Anyways, let's get into the list. First off, we have the description of the book, which is really simple. It's about these two boys named Henry and Alex, and Alex is the son of the first female president of the United States. It's like an alternate universe where Trump didn't win, and Trump just didn't know Trump, and his mom won, and Henry is a prince of England, and basically they start off not liking each other. Well, one doesn't like the other, but that's usually how it is in these kind of stories. It is enemies to lovers, and they eventually start hooking up, and then they fall in love, and yeah, that's basically what the romance part's about. The plot is, there's more plot to it, there's a lot of political stuff in it, and then stuff dealing with coming out and all that peak goodness. Casey McQuiston is non-binary, so, and they're also bisexual, I'm pretty sure. So this is Own Voices, some of Own Voices, because the main character is non-binary. He's a cis man. So the next category is the romance/plot. The romance is so good in this. This is my first adult romance book I've read, and it's amazing. There's no problematic features of it at all, there is in a lot of even YA and adult and new adult. This is actually new adult, but you know, like I said, it's enemies to lovers, and that trope is so good, and it's so wholesome. When they finally their feelings and stuff, it's so wholesome. Their relationship, I love it so much. Even before they start hooking up, their friendship, enemies to friends to lovers, it's amazing. I do not want to ruin my book. Yeah, like I said, nothing problematic. Stan. And like I said, there is an actual plot, but the romance, I think, happens first, even though there's seedlings of the plot, and it all mixes together, because Alex is a political figure, so is Henry, and that's an impact on their relationship and their lives, and they have to work through that as a couple and as individuals, and it's done really well. Oof. It's so entertaining. Love it. I'm literally, this video, I just want more people to read this book so I can talk about it with them. I just want to talk more about this book. I just want to reread this book. Okay, next we have the characters. The two mains, Alex and Henry, are amazing. Alex is such a chaotic bi. Love him. Oh my god. I relate to him so much. His sarcasm. Oh my god. He's like, I feel like he's like another part of me. So is Henry. Oh my god. Henry. Whoa. Whoa. Henry's gay, and he lost his dad a couple of years ago, so he deals with grief and stuff, which, like, I do too, because my dad also died. So, like, I relate to Henry as well. And just, like, the way Henry deals with his grief, which I'll talk more in depth later on in the video, it really relates to me, and I vibe with it so much. And their characters are done so well. Their development, Alex's development is so, like, understated. Like, he starts off the book a completely different person than when he ends it, and his growth is so beautiful to watch, and it's so, like, it pays off in the end. I just love it. And Henry also does develop and grow as well. He gains his agency, and it's just so beautiful. The scene, oof, there's a scene where, like, it's, like, the point where you're like, oh my god, he's grown, he's changed, he gained his agency. I cried. This book always makes me cry. I read it twice, both times it made me cry. Beautiful. And the side characters are amazing. They're all hilarious. They're all compelling. Like, so, like, their side characters, so the side characters can be split up into, like, the main side characters and then the side characters, even though they're all side characters. And that's June, Nora, Pez, and B. June is Alex's sister, Nora's their friend, and then B is Henry's sister, and Pez is Henry's best friend. And they all kind of form, like, a group in this, like, one chapter, and it's just, it's amazing. I love all of them together. I love the 6 of them. 6? I can't count. 2. Yeah, there's 6. Okay. I love the 6 of them together. They all work so well off of each other. They all, like, vibe and stuff, and it's just so perfect. They're really, like, the perfect storm, but it's, like, a good storm. And then there's other side characters that are, like, their parents and, like, other family members, but they're equally as important, and you do like most of them, but then sometimes you get pissed off with them, and then there's others that you're just like, fuck you. But whatever. Like, you're supposed to feel that way about them. And they're all just so well-rounded, and they all have their own goals and, like, all this stuff, and they're all amazing. This series is basically me just praising novels for, like, 10 plus minutes. Next category is the sex scenes. Now, these sex scenes are not graphic, but they're really, like, intimate. So they make you feel like it's, like, a graphic sex scene. Like, it deals more with, like, how they're feeling than with, like, the body parts and stuff. And it makes you feel like you're kind of, like, snooping in on someone, which I really like. I love, like, the emotions dealing with it and the way they make each other feel. They're just really good, and they're so romantic, even when they're, like, not romantic. Like, the beginning of, like, they're hooking up, and it just, I know most romance novels, people look forward to the sex scenes, and, like, they want, like, something out of that. But I feel like this novel does a really good job in delivering that, while also not, like, getting, like, nitty-gritty and stuff. But, like, to each their own. Like, you know, I really liked how Casey did it in this novel. Let's move on to the pacing. The pacing of this novel is literally so perfect. I've never found a novel where the pacing was this good. Like, every scene was important. Every scene drove things forward. Every, like, aspect of the plot had its own, like time to like be there while it was still like moving forward. Like you never felt like stuck or like repetitive. There was always something happening to me. Every topic is handled really well, and they never like rush past anything. Like you always know what's happening. You always are in the loop and stuff, and you always get what's happening, unless you're like not supposed to. But yeah, it makes this book like you want to know what's happening. You want to read more, and then you get there, and like it is a pretty big book. I think it's pretty big for romance too, but I'm not actually sure. But there's a lot in here, but there's like more than what the bigness appears. Like there's so much in this book, and you know it all by the end. Like there's not something that could just be like left out of the story. You know, everything is in there for a reason. On like the topic of like Casey doing their thing, we have the writing. This writing is so simple yet so complex and beautiful, and it like tells you the message. It doesn't tell you the message, but it like tells you the message in a way that you get it, you understand it, and then like later on you're like, holy shit, beautiful. I just love the way that they write. It's so good, and their dialogue is like the best that I've seen in every book I've read. Like it doesn't stop going. Like every sentence is like a new beat, and there's no like time where I thought that it was like dragging on or whatever. It's all amazing, and this also goes in with dialogue. The characters are so fucking funny. Oh my god, I literally laughed out loud with this book like 20 times. I do not laugh out loud with books that much, but this made me like fucking crack up, and it was amazing. And like I still crack up when I reread this book. I still like cracked up even though like I knew the joke, but it's so funny. It's so funny. And they do this thing where they do like text, like there's like group chats and stuff and emails, and the emails perfect. I love so much, and the group chats are all so hilarious. I stan. Like Casey is a millennial, I'm pretty sure, so they know how to like text and like what texting is actually like, and amazing. And the humor is more like sarcastic, dry humor, I feel. So if you don't like that kind of stuff, you might not like the humor in this book. There's probably more humor in it, but like that's like what I got from it, and that's the kind of humor that's like my style. And then also with the writing, the tropes are all done so well, and they're all so nuanced. Like the enemies to friends to lovers thing, it's so good. Like it's like a really good fan fiction that's not a fan fiction. Like it's supposed to be a book, and it is a book. Oh my god. Can't think of other tropes there are. But I just know that all the tropes that Casey's done worked out amazing, and I never felt like they were like relying on the tropes or whatever. Like it was all like natural and like that kind of thing. So amazing. Next we have the focus on grief, which is handled so beautifully in this book and so well done that like there's a lot of books that deal with grief that I've read, but this book really gets it a lot. And the way that like they describe grief for Henry, like because his dad died, is literally how like I feel about my own grief, and it's so true. Like in it, Casey writes that Henry has like some weeks, like for like some weeks or whatever, he can be like off, or like he can be like kind of like in himself or whatever, and then he'll be like recharged again, and that's so real. It's so real. And then there's this scene with Alex and Henry's sister B, where B is talking to Alex about like Henry's grief and like how, and like is asking if like Alex is like really serious about him and if he's gonna like love him because of it, and like to not be like put off by it. And Alex's response is so beautiful. But like B's description is also me, and then Alex's response. It's like what I hope for in a person. Like, he loves Henry with all the grief, all the joy, everything about him he loves, and that's just, it's what I hope for. And, yeah. That part always makes me cry so much. I literally, like, sob. It's amazing. Because, like, Alex understands. Even though he hasn't gone through the death of a parent, he understands that it's not something that Henry can just, like, change like that, you know? It's something that he's going to live with for the rest of his life. So Alex, like, he just understands, and it's beautiful. And last but not least, the way this book makes me feel, this book gives me hope for love, hope for the world, hope for the people that live in it. This story makes me believe in, like, the goodness of people. And it's just so wonderful. It just makes me want to believe in everything, and it's truly amazing how this book can make me feel like that. This book really, like, recharges my, like, emotional state, which is why I want to reread it a lot. And because it's just, it's so positive. It's how I wish the world could be. This book is how I want the world to be, and that says a lot about this book and about, like, me as a person and about how I want the world to be. But, like, this book has all of my, like, hopes and ideals and morals in it, and I just find that wonderful how a book can do that. And I thank Casey McQuiston, like, every fucking day for writing this book, and I'm so excited for their next book, even though I know it's not going to be, like, the same as this, but I'm so excited. Anyways, that's the end of my list. If you aren't convinced by now of why you should read this book, then comment down below and tell me why, and I can, like, try to, like, convince you more if you want to be convinced. But I get it, it's not for everyone, like, and I get the hype does dissuade people from it, but it lives up to the hype. For me, it, like, surpasses the hype, and I feel like this book is a part of me now. So, if you ever want to talk about this book, come chat with me. All of my links will be down below, and we'll just have a fun time. That being said, I make videos on my channel about books and writing and some, like, college vlog stuff. So if you want to check that out, you can visit my channel, maybe subscribe if you want, if you like my personality, and give me a thumbs up if you have also read Red, White, and Royal Blue, and if you love it, or if you just liked this video, like, give me that like. And that's it. I hope to see you soon.